Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Ohio students, sponsored by the Ohio Association of College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Before we begin, we have a few quick housekeeping announcements. First of all, there's a Q&A feature. So we would love to hear your questions, and you can just click on that Q&A button, and then the presenters will see your questions. So feel free to ask questions at any time throughout the session. Secondly, you may have noticed your video, your microphone, those are all off. So the presenters will not be able to see you, hear you, nobody will be able to see or hear you. Third, this is just one of many sessions that are being offered. And so to see that full schedule and see all the great colleges that are offering these sessions, you can go to the website oacac.org. And finally, tonight, this is being recorded, and you can see this recording in about a week's time, and that can also be found at oacac.org. Now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters.
Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and screen share here. If you just give me 1 second. Alrighty. So thank you guys so much for attending our presentation. My name is John Fallon. I'm an admissions counselor at Walsh University. I recruit with some of the counties within Ohio, as well as the southeastern United States. I also work with our homeschooling student population. I have Alex Branham on here with me as well. We're going to be kind of tag teaming this presentation. He's another one of our admissions counselors, and I will go ahead and let him introduce himself and tell you guys where his recruiting territory is.
Awesome. So like John said, my name is Alex Branham, and so my recruiting territory is all of Western Ohio, as well as Portage County and Washington County, and then I also have the Midwest United States.
All right, so let's get right into it. Walsh University. Let's provide a little bit of background for you guys. So Walsh University is an independent Catholic liberal arts school. It was founded in 1960 by the Brothers of Christian Instruction, a Catholic order of brothers, and they are very dedicated to educating students to become leaders in service to others by giving them values-based education rooted in the Judeo-Christian traditions. So, like I had mentioned, the Walsh theologians are those Brothers of Christian Instruction. We are very much still very committed to the values that they founded Walsh on: service to others, giving back to the community, values-based education. We do continue to be very global in nature because the brothers were very global order, are a very global order, I should say. So we have a lot of different opportunities for students as far as global learning and studying abroad, which we'll get into throughout this presentation. And we also have a very, very strong and vibrant international student population that lives on campus. Additionally, like I previously had mentioned, we are a Catholic university. We hold very true to those Catholic ideals and those Catholic traditions. So we have a lot of different offerings for students to grow in their faith and spirituality, whether it be through our campus ministry department or through any of the other offerings we have on campus. We do offer Mass every day for students to attend, along with confession and adoration, the exposition of the Eucharist. So there's a lot of really, really unique and cool ways for students to get involved, to become engaged, and to really learn more about their faith, or be exposed to it to the first time. We love to accept students from all walks of life, no matter where they're from or what their faith background is. So just very quickly, for those of you who may not be familiar with the location of Walsh, we are located in North Canton, Ohio. We are about an hour south of Cleveland, just to give you a kind of a general region of where the school itself is located. So at Walsh University, we have over 100 different majors and programs that you can choose to participate in. This is a very, very high number considering the size of the university is just under 3,000 total enrollment. So we have a lot of different options and opportunities for you to choose from. Now, the academics themselves are broken down into these different schools: business, arts and sciences, nursing, education, behavioral and health sciences. So whatever you're looking to major in, whatever you're looking to participate in is going to fall within these schools. And you're going to be able to really form relationships with your teachers and with your advisors within these schools and get a very, very hands-on, one-on-one kind of academic experience. While we are on the topic of majors, we wanted to touch very quickly tonight on the new majors that we have added. I mentioned that we have over 100 different majors and programs for students to choose from, but these were majors that we wanted to highlight because they are brand new as of fall 2020. We've gotten a lot of really good feedback from the students who are, looking at schools who offer these majors, and we have some students enrolled in these majors for the fall semester for 2020. So we looked at where there's a need for new majors, for new focuses, and we tried to make these majors very, very specific, focused in an area, very concrete as far as what you can do with them after graduation. Because like I'll talk about in a little bit, there's a very, very real focus at Walsh on professional development and on job after school. So as you can see on the screen, there they are. They're listed right there: public health, actuarial science. We added some data analytics and game development, web design, and then within the School of Business, a couple other ones as well: professional sales, human resources, and esports and gaming management, which has gotten a lot of pretty cool interest from students because it's a developing industry. So we really just wanted these majors to be ways for students to pursue new options, something maybe a little less generic, something a little bit more focused and specific, that will allow them to really immerse themselves in a specific field. So, you're really looking into not just management as a major, but you're looking into it from a human resources perspective and what that means for you, rather than just looking at it from a generic top level perspective. So these are all options for you to choose from, as well as all those other majors I had previously touched on. At Walsh University, we offer some very, very cool and unique accelerated programs for students to choose from. We have some very awesome legal studies partnerships set up with, as you can see, Akron Law School, the Catholic University, their law school in Washington, D.C., and then the University of Dayton's law school. The way this 3+3 program is set up is you would do 3 years of undergraduate work at Walsh's campus, and then 3 years within the law school at the partnering university. You can do a variety of different majors your first 3 years at Walsh, and then you would move on, and it cuts off a year and some time and money in getting your JD. The same is true for the engineering partnership that we have set up with the University of Dayton. Again, you can go on several different tracks, from chemical engineering to material, bioengineering, computer engineering. So the same format holds true there. 3 years on Walsh's campus doing undergraduate work, 2 years of pursuing a master's degree at the University of Dayton. Again, these are very unique opportunities for students to cut off time and money as far as earning degrees and within whether it be a doctorate or a master's on accelerated tracks. Some of the other tracks we like to highlight are our 3+3 doctorate program in physical therapy. This doctorate program in physical therapy takes place right on Walsh's campus, which is very cool because there's only a few schools within Ohio that offer doctorate programs in physical therapy. Walsh is one of those. So with the 3+3, again, you're doing your undergraduate work, and then you're also doing that doctorate level work on Walsh's campus, and you're saving yourself, again, a number of years and a lot of money. And then one of our most versatile, I think personally, one of our most versatile tracks that students can pursue is either our BA to MBA program for students who are doing undergraduate work within the School of Business, or our 4+1 MBA for non-business majors. So what that looks like is the opportunity for you to earn your undergraduate degree, your bachelor's degree, in either a major coming from the business school or some other sort of degree, and then pairing that with an MBA, so a master's in business administration, and making yourself a lot more diversified and versatile coming out of college. There's a couple different tracks you can go on for our MBA: marketing, management, data analytics. And so you have the opportunity to diversify yourself, like I said, and put your best foot forward professionally after you graduate, because that is really the end goal, isn't it? To graduate school and to get a job and to continue moving forward from there. We do also have an Air Force ROTC program that we can offer to students. We partner with Kent State in our Air Force ROTC program. So students now have the opportunity to participate in this when they apply to Walsh. So once you are accepted to Walsh, you would fill out this KSU cross registration form. We would put you in contact with the recruiters at Kent State, and they would, and Cindy Smith, as you can see, her contact information is down there. And they would start you on your journey of going through that ROTC program. It's a very unique and awesome experience for students to have the opportunity to pursue, because not only are you dedicating yourself to service and giving back to our country, but you're also giving yourself the opportunity to potentially earn scholarship money, which I think, obviously no one turns down scholarship money, especially if you are in this program. You're dedicated, you're giving back to the community, giving back to your country. And I think it's a very unique and cool opportunity for students to pursue. One of the things we would very much like to highlight in this presentation is the implementation of our 8-week academic terms. So traditionally, colleges are on a 15 or 16-week semester. So from October to December, you're taking classes, and then you go home for Christmas break, and then you come back, and then you're in school then from January till about May. What we have done at Walsh is we've transitioned from a 16-week semester to 8-week terms. What this means is there are 2 8-week terms within what used to be the fall semester. So there's 8-week terms from, excuse me, I said October earlier. There's 8-week terms from August to October, and then October to December. And that's how it's split up now. So it's a little bit more like quarters would be in high school. The reasons we added this, we thought it would provide a greater focus for students, because within that 8 weeks, you're having to take a fewer amount of classes, and you can focus in on the classes you have to take. So you probably will only have 2 to 3 classes at a time. So rather than juggling a multitude of coursework, you're able to focus in on those. More flexibility within your schedule. You're not going to be having class 5 days a week. You're going to have days where you're off, where you can focus on your homework and you can focus on projects, and you have time for collaboration outside of class, whether it be for projects or recreational purposes. And then there's more time for research, and there's research and scholarship. It really allows for students, like I said, to utilize their time more productively. Your entire week is not spent in the classroom. You have time that you spend in classroom. You have time allotted, set aside, that you can do homework in. And we also have it set up so that you can also pursue 2 more 8-week terms during the summer. We think this will really help for students to put a pace to their schoolwork, so you can pursue your college degree at your own preferred pace, because you can essentially go all year round. So you can take a little bit longer if you need to. If something comes up and you take a semester off, or 8 weeks off even, you don't have to take the whole semester off, which can benefit you. You can also pursue your degree in shorter than 4 years, which is very beneficial. Internships as well. We have internship programs built into our curriculum. And so for an 8-week term, you could be pursuing only your internship. And so we really think it'll be a very cool aspect to provide to students. Like I said, it is in its infancy. This fall is the first year we have implemented these 8-week academic terms. There is a learning curve, as with everything there is, but I think in the near future you will see this as something that is very, very beneficial for students who are attending Walsh. Like I had mentioned, we have a very strong focus on after school career placement. We have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio and 100% internships. I think this is very, very vital in our 97% career placement. 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio means that you're getting very, very individualized one-on-one attention in the classrooms. You get to know your professors. They know you. You know your advisors. They can help you find jobs, and they help you to prepare yourself for life after school. It's also huge to have the internship experience coming out of college that you can present to employers. For those students who are moving on to grad school, 92% of our graduates will continue their education at their first choice of grad school. So we have this very, very strong focus on providing a strong academic base, and then making sure that students are getting jobs. because we want to add value to your education. We don't just want you to come and get a degree and move on. We want you to immerse yourself in the community, become employed very quickly, become very marketable, be very versatile and diverse with the way you can present yourself. And it's a good place to do it in because like I mentioned, we're about an hour south of Cleveland. We also have a lot of different companies we can partner with if you're in Cleveland or even just in the Canton area. Diebold is a big company for us. Smuckers is another one. Timken and the Cleveland Clinic, as well as one that's not on here, but Goodyear is up in Akron. So we have a very strong focus on this, and it's very important to our mission. I had mentioned before earlier global learning, and so Walsh is global in nature. We're very globally connected. We have the opportunity to send students to different parts of the world, whether it be for a semester or for an internship. We can send students to Rome. We actually are partnered now with Franciscan University in Steubenville, Ohio, to be able to send students to their satellite campus that they utilize in Gaming, Austria for semester-long experiences, 8-week-long experiences. We have partnerships set up in Tanzania and Uganda, and our nursing students always have the opportunity to travel to those countries and to do clinical hours there in the hospitals in Tanzania and Uganda. So with many things like Walsh, global learning is something you can tailor to your experience. You can pursue it in a number of different ways, and we can make it affordable for you, and we can make it something that is a very integral part of your college experience. On the note of global learning, I want to mention the Brother Francis Bluen Scholars Program, which I think is a program very unique to Walsh that you won't find at many other places, especially at a school the size of Walsh. So the way the Brother Francis Bluen Scholars Program operates is it allows students who are accepted into this program to utilize the scholarship they earn and service to address local and global challenges. You also will develop leadership skills and intercultural competency, because during your 4 years, you will learn and become familiar with some sort of local or global issue. In the past, we've had groups study food hunger and sustainability, genocide, human trafficking. And so really, really prevalent issues that we see in our world. And so you learn about these and you become familiar with them, and you participate in international experience in a study away program that I guess I should say sharpen your knowledge even more. So the international experience and the study away program are funded by the university. That is where the bulk of that scholarship comes in, and then you receive that extra $1,500 scholarship as well for the 4 years. And so again, we're looking to create students who are aware of what's going on in the world, who know about the issues, and who are willing to take the first steps to rectifying those issues or having the conversation about rectifying these issues, because we want to be creators of change. We want our students to go out in the world and to be leaders in service, and to give back to their communities and to give back to the world at large. And so that's why I think this program is so unique. It's a very, very interesting and an opportunity that I think a lot of students should take the time to explore if you are considering attending Walsh University. So with that being said, I'm going to put myself on mute, and I'm going to turn it over to Alex and let him facilitate the conversation from here.
Perfect. Thank you so much, John. So as I kind of mentioned before, my name is Alex Branham, and I am one of the admissions counselors here at Walsh. So kind of going into more details about Walsh. Walsh is part of Division II athletics, which is great because that means we can actually give athletic scholarships to students. We have a multitude of different sports that students can actually be a part of. So if you're interested in participating in any athletics during your time at Walsh, please reach out to your admissions counselor, and we'd be happy to connect you with any of the coaches. The coaches love meeting with students, whether that be for a visit or just meeting outside, just to talk to you, or just a phone call or anything like that. The coaches love talking to our students. If you're not looking to play sports in college, we also offer intramurals as well. And so intramurals I'll actually talk about a little bit later. Right into it. So with that being said, kind of going back to Division II athletics a little bit, we try to make the games really fun and exciting. And so if you're not participating in any of the games, we actually offer different promotions to our students. And so one promotion that I know we do every year is we give free t-shirts to the first 100 students that actually come to a game, which is really fun and exciting. We really try to make the atmosphere really fun for a lot of the students to really make the athletes feel welcome and that they are proud to be at our university. So kind of going into our next slide of Here Community Matters, I will kind of talk more about the clubs that we have here on campus. So at Walsh, we do have over 60 different clubs that students can be a part of. And if we don't have a club that you're interested in, you can definitely start your own. We actually encourage our students to kind of start their own clubs, whether that be a chess club or underwater basket weaving. You can do literally anything if you really want to. So here are just a few of our clubs that we have here. Campus ministry being a really big one with us being a Catholic university. So our campus ministry club, they actually do different events and activities for our students throughout the year. One big event they actually do every year for our students is a retreat called Agape. So essentially what that retreat is we will actually go off campus for a full weekend. And with that, you can just get a weekend away from your classes, from homework, and just fully immerse yourself in the faith. It will be a weekend full of different prayer experiences, adoration, student witnesses, to really just meet other students. And we really try to do this during the fall semester so freshmen can really dive in and meet other freshmen as well as meeting upperclassmen. So it's a great way to engage with others within our Walsh community. Well, going into our World Student Organization, that's essentially our international club on campus, but domestic students can be a part of that as well. We welcome any and all students into that organization. And so two big events they actually do every year is the International Dinner as well as the International Flag Ceremony. So with the International Dinner, they'll actually have students from their home countries cook meals that are affiliated with their home countries. And they'll actually have all these meals prepared in our gymnasium. And you can try different meals from various cultures. And it's a great way to kind of connect with other cultures and really broaden your horizons. As I kind of mentioned before, we also have intramural leagues here. So if you're not interested in participating in intercollegiate sports, you can definitely be a part of our intramural leagues. We have volleyball, dodgeball, basketball, to really just stay engaged and just, have fun amongst a group of people while also not, at that competitive level. And lastly, the University Programming Board. So what this board is a group of students in which they actually plan different events for our students throughout the year. So one big event they actually do every year is Welcome Weekend. So during freshman Welcome Weekend, all the freshmen will be moving to campus and it's the first weekend actually on campus. So what the University Programming Board does is they actually create this big freshman bash for our students. And so they'll have a inflatable obstacle course, they'll have a slip and slide, a movie theater, pizza, popcorn, just a great way for all the freshmen to kind of come together as they're all kind of moving to campus together. A great way for them to connect, and they can actually connect and just, get to know each other because they're all in this huge transition together. At Walsh, our students matter. And so if you are having a disability or accessibility services, you're in need of that, we encourage our students to kind of reach out and let us know. So Meredith Sadouk is actually the Director of Accessibility Services. And so with that being said, we'd be happy to give her contact information to you, and she'd be more than willing to kind of help you through any disability or accessibility service need that you would need. So for example, let's say you are injured and go on crutches. You could actually communicate that information with her and she can let your professors know and just let you know that, hey, so-and-so might be a little bit late to class just because they are on crutches for right now. And then that way your professors would be aware in order to kind of make that accommodation possible for you. And so Meredith will be the main contact for you to let all the faculty and staff that need to know that accommodation in order to make that possible for you. Then also at Walsh, we have a 4-year guarantee. So this is actually one of our promises we have going on. So with this promise, we are promising that within 4 years at our university, you will graduate. So I was actually talking to a dad a few weeks ago that went to another university, and he was telling me that during his senior year, 2 weeks before he was supposed to graduate, the university called him and they were like, hey, you actually have 2 more classes. You can't graduate right now. And he was like, what are you talking about? Like, I had this ready, my family was coming and everything. So in the case that would happen at Walsh, let's say there's an advising mix-up and something like that would happen. Walsh University is promising to cover the tuition costs of your remaining coursework for up to 2 semesters, or you have the option to take 2 graduate level courses on us. And so with that being said, you have to maintain good academic standing with your classes. If you're failing a class, that's really on you. But as long as you're keeping your grades up, meeting with your advisor regularly, that's really what makes that promise happen. Now, with that being said, we also have a 6-month career promise going on at Walsh as well. So with that promise, we are promising that within 6 months after graduation, you will either land a job within your career field or in graduate school. So whatever one you kind of want to go into. Now, let's say you don't find a job after 6 months, or you don't land a spot in graduate school after 6 months. What happens then? You actually be placed with one of our career advisors, and they'll work with you with your resume, cover letter, doing mock interviews with you until you land that job or in graduate school. How to become a Cavalier. So how do you apply? So at Walsh, there's actually two ways to apply, one being through the Walsh website or one being through the Common Application. So essentially, if you're unfamiliar with the Common Application, it is a longer application in which you can actually send to a multitude of schools at once. Both ways are free. So I usually tell students that if you're only going to apply to 2 to 3 schools, just apply through the Walsh website because it takes 15, 20 minutes. Now, if you're going to apply to 7, 8, 9, 10 different schools, use the Common App. Because yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer, like 1 to 2 hours, but you can send it to all those schools all at once. So essentially, after you apply, your admissions counselor will kind of reach out to you, and they'll actually need your transcript along with any test scores, whether that be the ACT, SAT, CLT, anything like that. We actually do super score at Walsh here as well. So with super scoring, we'll take the best score from each individualized subject and create a better super score. And that'll actually be the score that we use for your admission into Walsh University, as well as for various scholarships like your merit scholarship or anything like that. Now, let's say you don't have a test score, because I know like a lot of testing centers are not doing tests right now. We also have a test optional route. So students going test optional must have a 2.5 GPA or higher in order to go test optional. Essentially with this, it's right on the application. So you would just check mark that you're going test optional. And on the application, you actually just write a series of 3 essays. Those essays will go to a committee. The committee will actually review your essays, and from there determine your admission decision based off your essays and GPA and everything like that. So the application link is right there. So if you just go to the Walsh website, it's actually in the top right-hand corner. You can just hit the apply button and start your application today if you really wanted to. We actually do have a November 15th priority application deadline. So November 15th is kind of like the deadline to kind of keep in mind to apply in order to be considered for various programs and scholarships. And then one thing that actually just came out today is that if you apply before November 15th, you actually will be eligible to receive 3 $500 scholarships. So we're going to choose randomly for all the students that have applied already or that are going to apply before November 15th. But if you apply before November 15th, you are eligible to be in the drawing for a $500 scholarship. So just talking about more about scholarships. So essentially, after you apply and get us your transcripts along with your test scores, or if you go test optional, your essays, we'll actually be able to create an academic scholarship, or what we call a merit scholarship for you. So at Walsh, all students are given a merit scholarship that ranges from $12,000 to $18,000 based on their GPA and test scores, or based on your essays if you go test optional. And so with that being said, we have a little calculator system in the back that kind of calculates all this information for us. So we will actually put this in your acceptance package of what merit scholarship you would be receiving. And then that would actually tell you what scholarship you'd be getting all 4 years. So I know a big question that we get for us is that, okay, let's say you give us a merit scholarship and then I take an ACT a little bit later. Can I use the higher ACT score if that ACT score a little bit later is higher? If you move up to the next merit scholarship bracket with your higher ACT score, we can definitely change your merit scholarship with that new score. So that is a question that we do get a lot, but we can change your merit scholarship based off your new score for sure. And a little bit more about money. So we do offer various scholarships as well as band scholarships, choir scholarships, if you're interested in playing any of those athletic scholarships, as I kind of already mentioned before. We do offer homeschool grants, Catholic high school grants, honor scholarships. So if you're interested in applying for our honors competition, applications for that will actually be available already. So they're available right now as we speak. And so applications will actually be due in January, with interviews being held at the end of January. And with our honor scholarship, you can actually receive up to a full tuition scholarship. So that's definitely something to kind of keep in mind and kind of aim for. Now, I will say you need a 25 ACT score, as well as a 3.75 GPA or a 1200 SAT in order to be considered for our honors program. We also offer various other scholarships to our students. I know for me personally, I actually send out local scholarships. And I know a lot of other admissions counselors do as well to our students, just so they can kind of get more scholarship money potentially throughout their years, their senior year. And then the FAFSA. So essentially the FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. So that is already available. It became available October 1st for high school seniors. So essentially with this, you would just fill it out and you would actually need your tax information from 2 years prior. So your parents' tax information from 2 years prior. You would fill all the information out. And so essentially what the FAFSA does is that actually allows the government to kind of award you various grants, work study loans, based off your parents' financials. And so with that being said, we don't usually start sending out financial aid packages until around December or January. But with that, on your financial aid package, it will kind of outline all the scholarships that you're receiving from Walsh, any grants you're receiving from the government, any work study you're receiving from the government, and any loans you're receiving from the government. So a big question we have with this is, what is work study? So work study is essentially a job on campus in which you would kind of perform for government money to kind of come to you. And so with that being said, we do offer various jobs on campus that are work study or non-work study. So if you're work study, you can definitely do a work study job on campus, or you can choose to decline that work study, and then you would thus not get that money from the government. And then essentially, if you decide to be a Walsh Cavalier, the next step would be to deposit. So we do have a $125 tuition deposit along with a $200 housing deposit. So that's why you see $325 by the tuition and housing. So with that being said, deposits are refundable up until May 1st. So why deposit early? You get preferred housing, roommate requests, scheduling classes. So you really have up until May 1st to kind of make that decision. However, the earlier that you deposit, the better. So let's say you kind of back out and kind of decide to go to another university before May 1st, you can definitely get your deposit back. However, that deposit is non-refundable after May 1st. So you can either deposit online on the Walsh website or send a deposit form in the mail for your deposit as well. And then safety protocols. So at Walsh this year, we are offering in-person classes. But we realize that a lot of students want that in-person experience. They don't want to be online. They want to be in front of a professor in a classroom because they realize that having that in-person experience, they learn the best. And so we kind of came up with this motto, the 7 to remember, in order to kind of keep those safety protocols proactive around campus so that students can actually have that in-person experience. So a lot of the students are maintaining these safety protocols because they realize that it's so vital to have everybody on campus to be in this learning environment. And so this is just something that we kind of created for everybody to kind of keep in mind during their time here. Perfect. And then this is actually all of our contact information for Walsh Admissions. So we have the admissions email there, as well as our office line, as well as the visit link. So feel free to schedule a visit with us. We do have visits Monday through Friday at 9:30, 11:30, and 2:30. And let's say you want to outreach to your admissions counselor directly. We actually have a link online where it says meet your admissions counselor. You can find your admissions counselor that you're actually a part of, and we'd be happy to text you, email you, talk to you on the phone. We'd love to meet you, and we really want to kind of help you in making that college transition easy for you as possible. But with that being said, that is the conclusion of our presentation. If you guys have any questions about anything at all, feel free to reach out, and we'd be happy to answer any question that you have for us.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation by Walsh. Thank you both to our presenters for being here tonight. And as you close this window, there will be a link that will pop up, and it's a link to a survey. It's very quick, just 4 questions, and we'd really appreciate any feedback you could provide. Also, as a reminder, there are other sessions that are being offered, so please visit oacac.org to check those out. And then finally, this presentation, the recording, will be available in about a week at that same website, oacac.org, and also other presentation recordings will be there as well. Thank you so much.